Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally here, and I'd say it was well worth the wait. Obviously, we know the story. It's probably one of the best ones we've seen for Spider-Man, so we know there's no problems there, although I will highlight my favourite aspects of this game in general for people who haven't played this game, before talking about performance and general experience tips. This game has a huge world with lots of freedom and movement, filled to the brim with lots of side quests and activities, and it's so fun to swing around no matter how far your objective is. Anyone who uses fast travel deserves to be jailed in Markarth. There are some great difficulty settings to play around with as well. Coming from a Dark Souls veteran, this game isn't a walk in the park on the highest difficulty, trust me. The story is phenomenal, and the characters have great personality. Without spoiling it, there are some great dialogue scenes that'll leave you giggling and sniffling. Additionally, there's a big replay value with New Game Plus. And the combat, it was a lot better than I remembered. There's a lot of similarities to the Arkham series, but if you say Spider-Man copied from Arkham, even though Spider-Man 2 2004 started it, you should be jailed in Markarth. But there are a lot of unlockable moves that you can use over time. There's also some different suits you're able to swing around with, and honestly, some look pretty fucking cool. There's a lot of collectibles, and this game is relatively easy to 100% for those achievement hunters out there, and the progression in no way feels like a chore. But I do know a lot of people that just get this game for the 100% achievements, but don't do that. Actually enjoy the game, alright? Get it for Spider-Man. But all in all, what a great port to the PC. I was even able to record my gameplay in high definition with ray tracing on. Good job. Bloodborne now. There's only a few cons I'll touch on briefly, however, if you've played this on PlayStation, you know this game's damn near perfection. I do have to say, the face model for the new Peter was kind of upsetting, just felt a little off, but that's just a personal preference. Another con I do have to touch on, although this hasn't happened to me personally, there's been wide reports of a memory leak where the software fails to manage available RAM correctly, and all available RAM gets used in the game, and performance degrades, and this is occurring to people with better PCs than me, like motherfuckers who drop their life savings on a 3090. So hopefully there's some sort of fix with that, with those people having trouble with that. Although, like I said, it hasn't happened to me. I'm fine. Sucks to be you, bitch. Thirdly, I just have a small issue with the AI, but this was present during the PS4 playthrough. They're just a little bit too predictable and easy at times, but if you bump up the difficulty it feels a lot better. And lastly, I do have to touch on this, and I know this will upset a lot of people, but this is my biggest complaint about the game. It makes me want to be Spider-Man even more. So I went outside to get bitten by a spider, and now I have psoriasis. But that's the pros and cons out of the way. The cons are very, very small cons. This game's fucking amazing. You're going to have to really try hard to find dislikable things about this game, like really, really hard. I'll also include a few tips for performance enhancing and general experience that just made me enjoy the PC port a lot more. The ray tracing is beautiful. However, I don't know if it's actually worth it. Even with a great PC, your frame rate does take a noticeable hit. I'd recommend using DLSS if you have it with ray tracing disabled, because the game still looks fucking god tier, my dude. But at the end of the day, it's all up to personal preference. I just prefer having higher frame rate, like it just doubles my frame rate when I turn it off. Another thing, you want to be Spider-Man as much as possible. You want to be doing this shit. You don't want to be doing this shit. But Multifistic, why didn't you add that to the con? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, there's a feature to skip puzzle solving. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a dirty little slut, but I actually used to like this when I first played it back in the day, funnily enough. However, I just find them to be a hassle second time around. A good thing to note, you will still gain experience points as if you completed it, so there's no problem there. But in conclusion, this is an amazing port, probably one of the best PC ports we've seen to date. I'd highly suggest this game to be added to your library. Obviously, it's a bit pricey for a game that came out 4 years ago, so maybe wait for a sale, however only after like My first hour in, I did not regret my purchase. Before I go, I have some closing words though. Bloodborne.